नहमदुहु व नसल्ली अला रसूलिहिल करीम अम्मा बाद फ़अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी व यस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली रब्बि यस्सिर वला तुअस्सिर व तम्मिम बिल खैर आमीन या रब्बल आलमीन. In the last video we made a fairly good start of fail. As a recap, fail in Arabic is of two types, Madi and Mudare. These two types cover three sentences. Fail Madi covers past tense only, and fail Mudare covers both present and future tenses. You may be wondering, how would we know when Mudare is covering present and when it is representing future? That will be very easy. When we get there, we will know, no problem at all. We looked at our first fail last time, Zahaba. At the time, we translated that as to go. And later on, we made out that Zahaba is actually a full Jumla failure, so it means he went. This is the past tense we are looking at. So if we have to say to go, we will have to find out the relevant masdar, which is zahabun in this case. Zahabun means to go. To go is infinitive in English, which is kind of equivalent to masdar. And to be more precise, if you remember our detailed conversation on masdar in one of the previous videos, to go, infinitive in English is actually equal to masdar al-muawwal, not the true masdar, as we say. So zahaba, he went. We can see that there are two basic components of jumla failure here. One is fail, the other one is file. File here is hidden in the form of huwa. So he went. We have combination of fail and file, and these are the two minimum components of jumla failure. We know that an action cannot take place without doer of the action. So minimum two components of jumla failure are fail and file. And similarly, we know that minimum two components of jumla ismiya are mubtada and khabar. Then additions take place in both of these sentences. Let us look at another verb today. We have a root kha ta mim. So our first conjugation form here will be khatama. We can loosely say to seal, but to seal we'll have to look at or find out its masdar, which is khatmun. So khatmun means to seal, and this is the first conjugation form of to seal, which is khatama. So khatama, he sealed. Khatama, they two sealed. Those two men sealed. Khatamu, they all men sealed. Khatamat, she sealed. Khatamata, those two women sealed. And khatamna, all those women sealed. We know that from here, this the shape, the form of the conjugation changes, and then that goes right to the end up to 14 conjugation form. So khatamta, you sealed, you a man sealed. Khatamtuma, you two men sealed. Khatamtum, you all men sealed. Khatamti, you sealed, a woman sealed. Khatamtuma, these are two the same. You two women sealed, and khatamtunna, you all women sealed. Khatamtu, I sealed, and khatamna, we sealed, both for masculine as well as for feminine, and for dual as well as for plural. So these are the 14 conjugation forms, and they go along the pattern of damair. Damair munfasala marfu'a, as we call them. So huwa huma hum, hiya huma hunna, anta antuma antum, anti antuma antunna, ana nahnu. So this one conjugation form, there is a specific Arabic term for this. It is called siga, sigatun. Sigatun This is the first siga. That's the fourth siga. That's the 14th siga. And plural is sijagun, sijag. So we have 14 sijag here. So of these 14 sigas, as we can say in English, you can see the first two are different. In the first, not the first two, but the first and the fourth are different, and other 12 are different in a way that file is completely hidden here. Hua and hiya, they're completely hidden, but here we can see the file in the form of alif here, wo, alif, noon, and here actually we can see the file in the form of damair as well. Anta, ta is here, antuma, tuma is here. So file is visible in all these 14, 12 forms other than these two forms, which is Siga number 1 and Siga number 4. So what about if I want to say, he sealed? Seal means putting a seal on an envelope or something else. So khatama, he sealed. What if I want to say the boy sealed? So I will say khatamal waladu. This is singular, this is singular, this is masculine, and that goes with the boy. What if I want to say two boys sealed? Am I going to say khatama al waladani? Or many boys sealed? Khatamu awladun? Al awladu or awladun, many boys, is definite or indefinite? No, that would be wrong. So this is a very important point which I'm going to make, and it is very important to focus on it and consolidate this point in our mind, that if file is other than the damir, if a file is damir, in all these 12 sigas, only you will use damir. If a file is other than the damir, for example, in the form of, we can say, visible noun, here is the hidden RS is the damir, but if it is other noun like isme alam or some other asma, other than the damir, is a better way of saying is, if our file is other than the damir, we can only pick one of these two sigas. Either we can choose siga 1 or we can choose siga 4, and that flexibility is because for masculine, we will use this, we will pick this, and for feminine, we will pick this. For example, if I want to say khatamal waladu, the boy sealed, I can say khatama zaidun, zaid sealed. But if you want to say Zainab sealed, I will say khatamat zainabu, Zainab sealed. So the only thing we are going to differentiate here is the gender when picking one of these two conjugation forms. Otherwise, whether it's dual or plural, it doesn't matter. We're still going to use this singular form of these two conjugation forms, not any of those at all. And that's a very important point to keep that in mind. If I want to say, for example, Zaid, Hamid, and Khalid seed, I'm going to pick this because they're all masculine. Khatama Zaidun wa Hamidun wa Khalidun. So that has become a plural ism in a way. So I'm still going to use this. I'm not going to use this. I'm not going to say Khatamu Zaidun wa Hamidun wa Khalidun. I'm not going to do that. That would be wrong. So only to pick when our file is an ism other than the damir, it doesn't matter whether the ism is singular, dual, or plural. We are only going to use one of these two forms, siga 1 or siga 4. Only in the case of feminine, we will use this. And in the case of masculine, if we are going to use this. And even if there is a combination of, for example, if we say Zaid, Hamid, and Zainab sealed, so because the predominant gender in Arabic is masculine, even if Zainab is there, we're still going to use Khatama. We're not going to use Khatamat. We can say Khatama Zaidun wa Hamidun wa Zainabun. So we're going to pick the first conjugation form here, and this is very important point to keep in mind. Let us look at a Quran example, because we said we're going to look at Quranic examples as we go through Arabic grammar. Um, this is ayah number 7 of Surah Baqarah. ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم. So here we can see Khatama, he seed. Khatama al-waladu, the boy seed. Khatama Hamidun, Hamid seed. Here Khatama Allahu, Allah seed. So we have got fail and lafz jalala file here. So fail and file combine to make jumla failure. That's easy. What about ala kulubihim? You know, ala kulubihim, we know when ala comes, it's a harf jar. We will have to, because we cannot forget about ism and our now, because okay, we're going to go through fail, but we still have to make sentences, and we're going to deal with asma, with murakkabat, like different phrases, etc. So it would be good idea that we should slow down here when going through different fail, different properties of fail, etc., whether it's madi or mudare, but keep on revising what we have covered on the other side, ism, which is basically nahav. Nahav is a word order and arrangement in a sentence, and we know this is surf, and surf means how different words change, and that's why it's called tasrif or conjugation, these 14 forms. So khatam Allahu, Allah said, fail file ala kulubihim. We can say Allah put a seal in this particular ayah because Allah has come. So ala kulubihim, on their hearts. Kalbun is singular and kulub is plural, and whom we have got the mead here. So that we have got mudaf and mudaf ilayh, that murakkab idafi combines to become ism majroor for this harf jar. So in jumla failure, this combination, this murakkab jari is called muta'alliq fail, connected to fail. So in this case, fail, file, and muta'alliq fail combine to make jumla failure. So another component has occurred here in jumla failure. So we got a file, sorry, we have fail, we have got file, and then we have muta'alliq fail. What about ala sam'ihim? And on their hearing, ears hearing. Okay, so this waw is waw atifa. Basically means ala kulubihim is no matuf ilayh. We have looked at conjunction phrase, and if you want to revise, you can go back to the relevant video for a refresher. So ala kulubihim matuf ilayh, this is our harf atf, and ala sam'ihim is our matuf. So here that this matuf ilayh, harf atf, and matuf combine to make muta'alliq fail in this case. So our muta'alliq fail has become a bit of a long phrase rather than combination of two phrases. Two, we can say two, but here it will be, if we say this is conjunction phrase, then it's just one phrase, but there are two phrases in it. So our jumla failure has already become quite long. What about wa'ala absarihim gishawatun? Is this also muta'alliq fail? It isn't, because our jumla failure goes up to here. And here we have ala absarihim. If it was up to here, we could have said that this is also part of this jumla failure. But what are we going to do with the gishawa, the curtain, the veil? There is a veil on their eyesight. So so that will not then go with this. And what it is that this is actually jumla ismiya here. We've got jumla failure, And this waw is we call waw istinafia. Waw istinafia is used in Arabic. It doesn't have to be even translated. At the beginning of a sentence, we can use waw all the time. And that would simply mean it is a new sentence where we do not have to translate this waw. So, وَعَلَىٰ أَبْصَارِهِمْ غِشَاوَةٌ. So what is gishawa? Gishawa is actually our mubtada. Remember, we said mubtada is definite, but most of the time it is definite, but mubtada could be indefinite. And here, not only the mubtada is indefinite, mubtada is not at the beginning of sentence because jar majroor never become mubtada. That's important point to note. So ala absarihim, this jar majroor, they will, even if they come at the beginning of a sentence, they never become mubtada. They do not have any ability, capacity to become mubtada, act as mubtada in a sentence. So our mubtada has been delayed, which we call muakhar. Mubtada is muakhar here, and ala absarihim, which is in the form of murakkab jari, that's our khabar. So khabar muqaddam, khabar has been brought forward, and mubtada has been delayed here. Why has that been done? There are various reasons scholars say. One, they say simple, when mubtada is indefinite, you delay it. Second, it may have to rhyme with the other parts of the ayah or other different ayahs in a paragraph, for example. And also, this is very important point. This is the style here. I'll say, Al-waladu fi masjidin. The boy is in a mosque. What does that mean? Al-waladu, the boy. We know who the boy is. Fi masjidin, in a mosque. We don't know which mosque he is in. He is in a mosque. We are not really sure where the boy is. We know who the boy is. We do not know in which mosque, in which masjid that boy is. He is in one of the mosques. We do not know exactly which mosque. And here, fil masjidi waladun. What's the difference between these two? In the mosque, a boy. And here we will have to bring there. There is nothing here to which we can translate as there. But if we have to translate this in English, we'll have to bring there. There is a boy in the mosque. We know exactly which mosque, but we do not know who is the boy. And this is the style here. Okay, fil masjidi waladun. There is a boy in the mosque. In a particular mosque, we know which mosque it is, we don't know who the boy is. Gishabatun ala absarihim. There is a curtain on their eyes. So what kind of form that curtain is going to take? Clearly from this ayah it's not clear. It may have been made clear in other parts of Quran. I'm not a scholar, so I don't know the whole of Quran. And but from this ayah it's quite clear there's going to be a curtain on their eyes, or vision we can say, because vision will be more than just the eyes. It's about much more wider kind of known to you, so it could be basirat could be more than just the eyes. So rishabatun ala absarihim, there is a curtain on their eyes, and we do not know the nature of that curtain. And similarly, walahum azabun azim, this is a similar, that's again wa istinafia, that's another sentence, and again this is jumla ismiya. So in this case, azabun is our mubtada, it's indefinite. Azabun has been described here. What kind of azab, what kind of punishment, what kinds of torment? Great torment. It has been described. So for whom we know who they are. Inna allazina kafaru swa'un alayhim a anzartahum am lam tunzirhum la yu'minun. So those are the people for whom this is the punishment. So we know who they are. Walahum lahum, for them a great punishment. Then here we say, although the punishment has been described, but it has not been specified. So in this particular ayah, I'm not talking about the rest of the Quran, in this particular ayah, it is not clear what kind of this great punishment is going to be. So it has not been specified, and this is the style here. So these are the kind of constructions of a sentence when we delay mubtada. And mubtada is usually indefinite in these cases. And in the translation in English, we will say there. There is going to be a big or huge punishment, torment for them. But that huge, great punishment has not been specified. What form is that punishment is going to take? It is not clear from here. We're going to stop here today. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.